chartered accountant. I have been practicing audit for the past 20 years. I was an audit partner with one of the large firms in Malaysia called YYC, and I started my career in KPMG Singapore, also as an auditor. And I live in JB. So I'm not a technical background in terms of the IT technical. I am actually an accountant trained. So what happened is actually last year I start to touch on AI and some automation. Maybe before that, right? We would like to share in the chat box how many of you are actually from accounting background. You can just type an account in the chat box, so we can get a flavor who are the audience in the group chat for today. Okay. So basically, in accounting field, right, especially in JB, right, like most of you know that JB is very difficult to get people to work. That's why middle of last year, I think that it is almost a very suitable timing for AI solution to be implemented, because I find that the cost is very low. It's a low barrier to entry in terms of the cost, and the know-how is also very accessible. You no need to go through like a few semesters of study. You no need to go through like 1 month or 2 month courses then to get things implemented. Basically, you just attend like 2 to 3 days workshop. Then you can get things implemented on the ground. So that's my personally feeling back then. Then I made a decision that I want to pivot my role out from the audit industry. But I'm still focusing in the application of AI solution and the automation process in accounting and finance industry. Because, you know, in accounting, we have basically few sectors. We have government, we have public sectors, we have private sectors in the corporate. We also have accountant in practice. In practice, meaning to say that you are operating a firm, providing the service to the other businesses. Maybe another quick survey. If let's say you are accountant in the corporate world, you just type corporate. If you are accountant in the practice, you can just type practice over here. Today, I think most of my use case, right, is focused on the corporate use of the AI's process that I think is quite promising, and it can really solve the pain point to recruit the people. And right now, I myself, other than apart from conducting training with Warren and Marcus, both of them are in the call tonight also. I also do some consultation work for the practice to it's more on coaching because at this moment, right, AI is evolved so rapidly. So I have 2 to 3 firms under my coaching, and also in MIA, Malaysia Institute of Accountants, better phrase it correctly. I'm one of the mentors sitting in their program to help local firm to go digitalization, to adopt AI. And actually, I myself also sitting inside the AI working group in MIA, and in Johor, I'm also one of the committee member. So that's a little bit about the story about myself. In short, I'm not the IT trained person, although I like to play a lot of game when I was young, but it does help in some of the recent development. If I can, later I will showcase with you some of the process that I have done, some of the product I actually developed with my colleague Warren's. If let's say I am able to do it, I believe most of the people over here, like you now, right now watching me to share my story, you should be able to do as well. All right. A little bit of housekeeping, right? If let's say during the sharing session, if you have any things you want to ask, you can either use the chat box, but we will recommend you to use the Q&A tools. If you are using the laptop to view the webinar, at your bottom right corner, they have a meeting tools icon. Once you click that, there's a Q&A button. Okay? You can actually leave your Q&A there. We will try to answer all the questions before we finish our webinar tonight at 10:30. But during my sharing, if you have any ideas, you want to chip in, you can just type in the chat box today. The session is more like an interactive section. It's a sharing session. It's not really some, tutorial class, all this kind of thing. I doesn't really believe in one-way communication. I think the more interaction, then we can open up our mind bigger. Okay, so let me share my screen. Okay, this is the deck for today, right? Every time, right, when I look at the presenter text, I always will look at how many slides are there. For me, it's only 11 slides, so it's a very short and concise presentation on sharing. And in fact, right, when I was working on this particular slide, this is actually not a, not a PowerPoint. It's a HTML deck. How do I prepare this one, right? It's using Claude. This is one of the tools that I would like to share with you in this evening. Okay, for example, this one I will ask in the afternoon. Just I'll ask the Claude to prepare me some HTML. I share with you that what are the things that I want to share, all this kind of thing. Okay, after that, right, it will actually give me some. In fact, I asked for some opinion whether my assessment and my observation in terms of the AI use case is sounds or not. So from here, okay, it will give some recommendation. And there, I just, okay, based on the question that they asked, okay, I give my answer. And Claude will actually start working on the presentation and deliver accordingly with a preview panel over here. And this is how I craft the presentation slide today to share my AI automation journey with all of you. Yesterday, I just complete one MIA JB meeting, and one of my fellow friend, Jason, I'm not sure whether he's in today. I actually share with him that the easiest way, right, for you to start embracing the AI automation at this moment, this is based on my personal experience, because he is currently subscribing ChatGPT to try out many kind of things. I said, why not you just try to spend 1 month, you switch from ChatGPT, you subscribe Claude with the same cost, then you might see a lot of difference. So the first thing I would like to share today is, if let's say, maybe you can do a quick survey in the chat box. If you are using ChatGPT, you type ChatGPT. Gemini, you type AI. Gemini, if you're using Claude, please type Claude over here. Then we can have a flavor to see what are the AI that you are currently using for a day-to-day basis lah. In fact, there was a publication in the last few weeks, right, that showed that which country has the highest Claude penetration rate. If I not recall wrongly, the first one is Israel. Then I think the top 3, Singapore is there. Malaysia, I think is somewhere 50 plus among the world. Yeah. So for those, if you are using Copilot, ChatGPT, Gemini, I think no harm giving Claude a try. I myself, I have Claude subscription, and I also have Gemini subscription. Gemini is because right now I'm still studying in UTM for my master degree. So the student entitled for a 1-year free subscription on Gemini. Okay, today in particular on AI automation and for the finance and operation, right? Okay, basically right now, okay, give me a second. I think I use another one. Because just now I asked you to add a slide over here. So this one should be the latest. Okay, today we'll touch on 2 things. When we talk about AI automation, for me, there are 2 ways, the easiest way. The first one is you work with the AI agent. Like right now, I want to craft out a presentation deck in HTML. I ask Claude to help me to do the work out the coding or the HTML script. So this is the deck that you are seeing right now. Another way is using workflow. Okay, workflow is the workflow that I always using is n8n. Workflow is something similar to Microsoft Power Automate, similar to Luck also has automation workflow. Zapier, Mac are some other cloud automation workflow. n8n is the one that I use the most, and we are conduct a lot of training on n8n session, mainly because n8n, in terms of the flexibility, the choice to deploy in your own environment for the larger enterprise due to security concern, or subscribe and ready to use by SME, the price is very affordable. Okay, this is the pricing lah. So from the SME perspective, right, start from the $24 per month with unlimited user. You can start to try out a little bit on the automation workflow. By the way, n8n is not owned by us. n8n is a German product.
I was just going to say that, right? We are not resellers. We are not principals also. We don't have an agenda to push n8n.
Always to talk about it. Yeah, but this one really useful. Okay, later we can share with you. We actually use it quite heavily. We have our own. This is our own self-hosted version, community version. Okay, so for here, like you see, all the public workflow is the workflow that we are using day to day. We've run a lot like staff clan, HRDC, because we run a lot of training. Many of the workflow that we are crafting it ourselves and run it ourselves. In fact, right now, my direction with Warren is that we try not to recruit a single admin staff in our organization. So another way, if I cannot automate on time, then I'm the admin lady lah. All right. Just aside, this is how do we prove that we are actually eating our own dog food to share that things are really workable. Okay, let's go back to the deck sharing over here. So workflow is good, but later I'll share on the pros and cons, because end of the day is the human adoption that matters. Today, I think it's no longer a solution issue whether Claude can help me do this, whether the n8n workflow can help me do this. The challenges is that when it comes to human adoption, because I myself run a few coaching programs, then from there, ultimately it will become a change management. It's a process change for the organization, how the organization want to roll out. And I think human adoption wise, using agents is easier. Using workflow, there are some challenges. Later, I will go through with you on some of my latest experience in terms of after the business owner decided, okay, I want to go for AI adoption, and I roll it out in my organization, and there are several challenges or obstacles they face. And hopefully by sharing it today, you have some idea that can serve as a reference point. So let us talk about all the tasks and matters handled by the finance and ops team on the routine basis. Basically, the first one is the data input. Data input meaning to say that your account executive key in all the things from the source data to the system. In accounting firm, basically when a smaller firm, your SME client every year end will bring a bag or a box of document come here. You do all the key in, all this kind of data input. Okay, this is very it's very taxing on the labor hours. After you key in the data, right, you need to do a lot of validation. You need to do a lot of matching. For some corporate, you have your policy to do two-way match, three-way match. If you already have an ERP system in place to do all this, is good enough. But not every business can afford to have an ERP system dedicated to do all this validation. Mostly are still done by human. That's why back end, there are a lot of staff is spending time on eyeballing different set of data to make sure, okay, this one is matched, this one need to reconcile, and come out the reconciliation report. Then only spend our time to investigate on some of the variances. By now, the reconciliation preparation in terms of come out the reconciliation report, this one doesn't match, this one match, but there are some differences, already can be automated. So the time spent by the team member should focus on, once I got the report, I directly zoom in into all the variance and the reconciling item to speak to the various stakeholders. So basically, it cuts short the time for the front part. After data input, data validation and matching, the next part is on the data extraction and reporting. Especially this one applies to managers and above level. We are preparing different reports, okay, monthly, weekly, and some even daily reports for some more intensive industry. Basically, the challenges is that when your accounting software is not the single source of truth, you have all the data scattered around Salesforce, accounting software, different other system, whereby you need to pull it from the different platform and consolidate, become one report for the decision-making purpose. So from here, n8n agent right now, they actually can do all the compilation of data as long as you connected to the source system via API, or you manually download a set of CSV report from the system. Then you run some simple scripting and come out the reporting. This one later we will showcase to do reconciliations, to do some report in the dashboard. That's why this 3 part right now is the very labor intensive part that already can be automated. So when we come back, right, today I'm not going to go into very details in terms of the architecture background of AI agent, the architecture background of workflow, and in terms of IT, how does it work? Because I think that today audience is similar background like myself, is an accountant. Then I think I will use a more layman terms to describe how I feel about using AI agent to do something against using workflow to automate the workflow. For AI agent, usually for the change management and change resistance is much more lower, because naturally, usually how I share with the people is you just treat that today you have a junior staff, you just recruited your PA or your EA, then you throw him or her a task to do. This one actually is it's a bomb behavior. It's a natural behavior when we go into the working space for 4 to 5 years, right? Once we have junior, inherently we have the skill set to arrow people to work for us. You need to arrow your staff, arrow your junior. Okay, help me do this. If let's say junior, you are arrow intern to do things for you. So this is no learning curve one. Ask people to do things to you. So from here, right, agent, the good thing is it can handle different type of instruction. It can handle all the unstructured tasks that you give. Unstructured means to say that today I ask the agent help me to extract something from the bank statement. I no need to provide an Excel listing. I just give a PDF or the PDF report. Then it can handle it. An agent, because the power of it can do the reasoning, it can adapt a different scenario. And most importantly, when we instruct the agent, right, it's using the human language, like what I'm talking to you right now. It's not like you need to write some coding, then the agent will perform. So basically, using agent to do your task is very accessible, just as if you are an intern, you are instruct an intern to do tasks for you. Then from there, right, you will start, there are cases whereby people will start thinking that, oh, actually I overlooked passing these details to the intern. That's why it didn't deliver me the desired output. Then from there, right, based on my experience for these few months, for myself and some of the mentee that I'm having coaching program, I find that the way they interact with the AI getting better in that they really can articulate what they want. So I think the very important skill set nowadays, right, when working with AI is whether or not you are able to articulate clearly on your needs and your wants. Some common situation that I encountered when I first introduced agent to people to use, right, is that I just said, okay, now you can start straight away ask Claude to do something for you. Then they will stuck there. They don't know what to do. But after they successfully roll out one simple example, two simple example, then they will get excited. They will start using it. Okay, so this is how easy to use an AI agent to work something with you. But the challenges is, if let's say nowadays you have already used Claude or other AI to help you to generate output on a daily basis, you know that the output is always very dynamic. Okay, it's not very defined, but you need to give more context, give more prompts so that the output will more align to your expectation. This is in contrast to a workflow. Workflow is something very deterministic. You feed in one structured data, it will come out a structured output based on how you design your workflow and how you coded your workflow. And in n8n, there's some drag and drop visibility. Later, I will showcase with you. So for workflow, is the opposite way with AI agent. It is very deterministic. It doesn't have a random factor in between. But you need to have, as you scale out your operation, you have more and more transactions, you have more and more different scenarios. Then you need to keep on improving your workflow to be able to cater more and more different circumstances. So to compare between AI agent and AI workflow, the main difference is for AI agent, the output tends to be very dynamic. You need to insert more prompt, you need to give more context to set guardrail, so you can set the output to be more precise, aligned to your expectation. In contrast, for AI workflow, you need to build it more and more different scenario and the context to let it to adapt more different cases. So this is my takeaway from using agent and using workflow in the finance and ops use case. So these are the pros and cons in terms of the flexibility, output consistency, learning curve, scalability, auditability. Just now I didn't touch. For AI, right? For example, if you look at right now my screen over here, this one is my conversation with AI to generate the output for today. Basically, it's just a conversation with a starlight. Will tell you that, and the most important thing, everything you ask it to correct, they will say you are absolutely right. So nowadays, the challenges for us as a human, when we use AI, you need to go and do the study lah. Because AI always say you are right one most of the time. Okay, so from there, when you want to do some audit trail, right, and where goes wrong, all this kind of thing is quite difficult. It's quite difficult because from here, right, you only can see the output at the right side and the conversation details over here. Okay. In contrast, if let's say you go to workflow, okay, this is some of my workflow. The workflow over here is go by notes by note. Okay. So for example, if I want to see the past execution, for example, I have some error at the left over here. When I'm looking into my workflow, I want to understand what things has gone wrong. It will point me directly to the notes with error. Then I only need to go and solve this bug or solve this problem for the particular process. In a way that this way is preferred by most of the larger enterprise because all your process, all everything, a task that you have executed, there is a detailed execution log. So it's easier for maintain. You can directly look at it, see what's wrong, and you go in and troubleshoot.
I think if you had to show the overview also, right, under n8n also, it also shows the permissions and so on and so forth, right? Now we just exit from here. Overview, under the number of executions, failed executions, the failure rate, the credentials, the variables, who runs what within each team. I think that's the key thing that many of the audit functions, right, would like to keep track of.
Yeah. That's why we like n8n. It is very flexible. Large corporation you can use and small SME you can use it also. All right. So ultimately, right, I think going long run, when you start embracing AI, first go for agent first, okay? Because it's easiest to use, but it's very costly. A to Z, AI will charge you. Then after you get agent to help you to do most of the tasks, we will shift most of the tasks to workflow to execute, because workflow, the cost is much more affordable than using the service of the AI. Ultimately, you will have it's a blend, it's a balance between workflow and AI agent. The manual one should be minimized already. So right now, as a whole average, I think at least 50% or 60% of our time is involving manual eyeballing, manual data entry, and manual data extraction using XLOOKUP, VLOOKUP, pivot table. The AI use case is mainly on cutting all the manual works. Okay, so this is what I mentioned just now. If you're using AI, treat it as a junior. Okay, when using AI, the challenges is you need to giving more and more different prompting. Okay, this one is a little bit technical, but I think it's good to share. This is some of the terms people using day to day. You start with the prompt engineering, how to refine your prompt better. Prompt engineering is basically how do you talk to AI better, okay? Prompt engineering. Then after that is the context engineering, at which stage you let the AI to know more things about your subject matter, the context engineering. Then the most recent one is the harness engineering. What are the tools you connected with? How do you set another agent to double check the work before deliver back to the user? So in a way that using agent, you need to putting more and more materials for the AI so that its output can be more precise. Okay. Then for the workflow, like I said, it's a steeper learning curve. It's a steeper learning curve. Okay. It's rigid by nature. It's supposed to be rigid. That's why most of the reconciliation works, right? I will recommend to use workflow, because workflow is a code base to run the thing. If you are using agent, based on my experience, the agent preparation is never 100%. It's never 100%. it can give you like 80-90%. Definitely, like for example, last time when we are preparing some attendance sheet, okay, doing some attendance sheet for our training, there are typo over there. The one is using agent 100%. So it depends on industry use case. Some industry you cannot afford to have the 10% error rate. It will kill you. So for that one, it makes better sense for you to use workflow, accompanied with all the code. Okay. We won't write the code. We ask AI to write the code and we reuse the code. When we reuse the code, everything will follow the code logic. And of course, it's slower to adapt. It requires some change in behavior, obviously, and some process change also. And the cost, I think, is the most important part. For AI agent, A to Z, everything it do for you, it charge you. Okay? For AI workflow, for example, let me show you the workflow in n8n. So this is the full workflow. There are only 2 nodes over here. Okay? I highlight it in the sticky note in yellow color. Only this one, okay? And this one is the AI function, okay, in the yellow part. It is handled by Gemini to do OCR, to do the information extraction. That's why we need to link it to the Gemini API key. So the whole process, only these 2 particular sub-process, you will be charged. Other ones is basically using some code logic. Just that n8n should already bunkos nicely as a node for you to configure. So from here, right, other part of the project, it doesn't spend you a single cent. Only this one, it will charge you on the AI API token. Likewise, if you compare to Claude over here, everything you feed to the AI, everything AI speak to you either in the conversation chat box or in the output at the right side, right? It charge you everything. For us, we are paying subscription. If you are paying subscription like $20 a month, $100 a month, the challenges for us is just spending the quota. Maybe when our quota reach already, it asks us to pause for a while, wait for 3 p.m. or 5 p.m. to resume the session. But as you start scaling the Claude service in your organization, you'll find that $20 is not sufficient one. Usually, you need to go to $100 package for the heavy user. From there, you will realize that $100 per pax is a very big investment to the company. That's why I say from adoption, better start with the agent. Then when come to the deployment, you still eventually need to go to the AI workflow. Okay, so this is my recommended roadmap. Start agent as a core worker. Slowly, when things are proven can be automated, move it to the workflow. And eventually, right, you may not need to craft the workflow one by one by yourself. You can ask the AI, ask Claude to help you to craft the n8n workflow, and Claude themselves use the n8n workflow to execute the task for you. I can show you some simple example. This is agent. Actually, we have backend is still Anthropic, is still Claude. Okay, we make it like a function in the workflow. Okay, in the chat room. So every member over here today, only me is inside lah. Okay, we can come in and ask the agent do things for us. So subscription is actually binded with the agent itself. Okay, other team member you doesn't have the subscription, but in the chat room you can talk to the AI agent over there. So for here you can see sometimes I ask it whether you can help me to install this community node on n8n. Okay, so you will go and install. Basically, on the same machine, I actually integrate it with n8n workflow and Claude. So actually, Claude can help you to amend, update, maintain, and create the workflow. And Claude can use the workflow. So that is another way that you can look at it. And of course, for this this application, right, I actually white coded it myself lah. That's why today's in the AI era, you need to be, you can be a power user for the AI, be it using Claude or other software as an agent. You can build a workflow. You can use n8n to build a workflow to get some automation done. If you want to go further and you are very interested, you can build an application using some white coding technique. That's why it's also aligned with some of the course that we are providing. We are providing n8n workflow, which is selling hot. we are providing white coding session. Right now, the takeout rate is lower than the automation, the workflow automation. But this is how far the things you can go. You can actually build your in-house application and solution within your organization to run it. Then after that, in May, we will also launch the session how to use Claude Cowork on all the business tasks. Okay, so the key takeaway from my half an hour sharing, I think I slightly overrun. Okay, the half hour sharing is agent is the easiest way for you to start with if you want to get your organization to roll out the automation. Workflow is more sustainable and scalable. Okay. Then eventually all you need to do is have all this okay, I don't want to put it too technical. Is when you use it, you'll be more familiar how to tweak it and how to give prompt to make sure the output is aligned to your expectation. Okay, so Nicholas Gunn, right? He's asking that what about white coding security risk? Okay, so for this particular workflow, right, I'm actually use it in empty PC. Okay, for that, and especially this is for our internal use cases. We don't use it for publish the apps like other application is done. So depending on your use case, right? For some simple mini viable project, actually this one, it doesn't have many technical layer. It's just using Claude Code channel. Claude Code has a channel to plug it in, and actually backend is all run by the Claude Code. So basically this one, we know exactly what we are doing. Then we use it internally. But if let's say you are now pushing a solution to your client, pushing a solution to the public, right? You always need to go back to consult with the cybersecurity expert, the people in the IT field. They will look at all the costs, all the data flow, all this kind of thing, and give you the better advice. So right now, today, for those people in IT, right, they also can uplift their time, right? They don't need to deal with all the coding, the heavy tasks, the heavy lifting tasks. They are going into more critical advisory and critical cybersecurity screening. Okay, Nicholas, hopefully I answer your question. Okay.
Perhaps, Wei Jian, to showcase, right, to put a little bit of color for the audience within here, right, because many of them are finance and still new to all these AI agents, right? Maybe you can run one or two processes that you have designed. We won't be teaching you how to build the processes, but all of you will be able to see, right, that from a logic perspective, it's quite easy to flow from one end to another, right? And you'll be able to interpret it. Then it gives a little bit more color in terms of how you think about it from an RPA analysis perspective.
Yeah, so today I will first share using n8n to do some data input and some dashboard reporting reconciliation. Then the later part, I will use Claude to do the same thing. From here, you can do the comparison. Okay, which one is what do I mean by just now? I said agent is more flexible but costly. Workflow is relatively cheaper, but you need to spend more time to pick out and do the change. So I think I have done enough of the talking in terms of the slide. I will jump straight to some showcase on some of the workflow on how to automate things. Okay, the example that I will be using. Okay, let's do some warm up first. We use some receipt OCR. Even though working with AI for quite some time, right, we always think that the receipt OCR is already implemented. But every time during the lesson that we have, right, this one's still a very common pain point for most of the people. Okay, but the example here, we are using a receipt, right, to showcase how to do OCR from the receipts and push it to one data space. In fact, this is not necessarily be the only use case. You can do OCR on your agreement. You can do OCR on all sorts of documentation and extract the data. From here, webinar sharing purpose, because of the time constraint, we do a simple example. Right now, this one is the receipt that I eat on the cafe. Okay, one lime soda, one matcha cafe. So from there, right, I will pass this receipt via form to the n8n platform. Okay, once the file has been submitted, right, this one is the n8n platform. So this is my first process. Okay, Once I have successfully outload a file, it will show green color over here, means a data has flow through. And from here, right, inside the screen, you can see that, okay, this is the output of the receipt. Just now, this receipt is sitting in my download folder. Now I upload to n8n because n8n is a cloud service. I upload to n8n platform to start to initiate the whole process. From here, I'm doing everything from scratch, okay? So you can see the step-by-step procedure, how to do everything. When the file has been uploaded over here, right, what we do, the next step is to get the AI model, okay, to read, because this one is an image file. This one is an image file. This one is not like an Excel or PDF. You can select the text, you can copy paste. So you need to use the AI model help you to extract the data. You can use Gemini, you can use ChatGPT for sharing purpose. I am using Gemini. And also, if you pay attention and have a look at the Gemini notes over here, it can do many actions. It can analyze audio. You can help you transcribe the recording. Analyze document is the node that we are going to use later. Okay. So it also can help you to analyze image, generate image. There are some, I remember there's one of the class that we've conducted. There is a gym trader, GEM. So we actually use this as a use case, right? He have many different photo of the gym, right? Ask it to analyze, to classify different category. It works pretty well. You also can analyze the video, generate video. Analyze video, for example, you have a long footage of the security playback. You need to identify certain incident at a certain point of time. You can do that. Okay. So for our purpose, we just use analyze document. From here, what we can do is we choose what is the model that we want to use. Then textbook is the instruction that we give to the AI. Extract all details from the documents. Because right now I have already logged in my Gemini API key already, so I don't need to key in. Meaning to say that every time I run this one, it will spend a token and I need to pay for the bill. So for here, let us run a simple input, execute. Based on my experience, right, provided current exchange rate, 1 to 4. Roughly one page of document is about 2 cents plus minus ringgit. So from here, you can see, right, you have the input as an image of the receipt. After you do the configuration, give the instruction to the AI to extract details out. Okay, these are all the text. Okay, they have capture from the receipt. So you will say this one is a major cafe, this one is a lime soda, how much? So come back outside. For this particular process, right, is actually do a reading on the images and capture it in text format for all the details it can see on the receipt itself. Next one, what we want to do is from all the bunch of text, right? Okay, we want to extract out some essential information. Because having the text itself all like this one doesn't really helpful. We want to extract a certain key information. So from here, we can extract. For example, I want to know the supplier name. Okay. If I want to know the bill description. Okay, and I want to know the bill amount. And I want to know the date of billing. Okay, then from here, we need to connect it. Okay, with the AI model and run it.
I think it's important to highlight, right, depending on which organization you're from, because your IT will set which AI models can be used, whether it's Gemini or whether it's something that's hosted within AWS, if your organization on AWS or OpenAI, right? If you have to showcase the different models also, Wei can just open up quite quickly and say, look, OpenAI can do the same operations, Anthropic can do the same operations as well, right? To extract information, to understand diagrams.
So it's like a shopping center lah. Okay, from here, you can choose Anthropic is Claude. Okay, Azure OpenAI. this one is hosted by Microsoft. AWS Bedrock, they do host different AI model also. So basically,
you can even use the Chinese
here.
models, DeepSeek, and so on and so forth, right? Grok, Mistral.
Yeah. Even you want to be more secure, you buy your own like 40,000, 50,000 GPU, like a 200 gig over. Then you can use Ollama lah. You host it in your local machine and run. So the data will never go anywhere. It's still on your machine. Okay.
Yeah. So therefore, the good thing about something like n8n is it's model agnostic, right? You have the freedom and flexibility to change to whichever model that your organization, or your IT department will set, right? Whether it's something that's hosted on the cloud by the major cloud service providers, or it's something that is hosted locally within your own safe environment.
Okay, so right now over here, it have finished extracting the information, and this is the result of the extraction. Media Cafe total amount is this much, and the date of billing is this. So from here, there's one things that we can see. How do you define the prompt to the AI? For example, date of billing, I want the format is day month. Yeah. Then if let's say the description of bill, I want less than 10 words. Then I run again. Then AI will add according to my instruction prompt. So this is how we, when setting the workflow, where can we park our prompt to make sure that the AI act according to our instruction within the process. Okay, you see now it's a day, month, year format, and the description is much more lesser than just now. Okay, this is how we can tweak a little bit. Okay. Then from here, next one is a simple step. Let's say I want to insert the data into a Google Sheet. So for n8n, it will support the Google ecosystem. Okay, there's a lot of Google Sheet. It also support Microsoft. Okay, Microsoft. Okay. And most of the bigger player over here, Salesforce, Zero. Okay. And in the event, if let's say the software you are using is not crafted over here, right? Okay. You can always use the HTTP request, okay, to have a dedicated API access to the software that you're using. So meaning to say that right now for demo purpose, right, we are showing you how to do the data entry into a spreadsheet. But in your real case circumstances, you can either use a customized post HTTP request API to post your data into your system. Or if the node is currently available, then from here you can post the data to the respective system. Okay, if let's say you're running a practice in Malaysia, you are using SQL, AutoCount, and Buku. I think last second demonstration I have done, I tried Buku. So basically, Buku has an API key. You link to Buku and you can push the data to Buku software. And for AutoCount, my understanding, one of my friend has already got the AI API module. Okay, with AutoCount, then they also can push all the information via the API module to AutoCount. SQL, I think right now for SQL accounting, they actually have their own OCR solution, and right now it's free. After July, they only will start charging. I think it's 10 cents per patch. I think it's reasonable. So if you are using SQL, I think you straight away explore the option to use the OCR solution. Now SQL is embedded in their accounting software. Okay, enough talking. Let me continue to finish my configuration over here. So if let's say I choose to append it to one of the, okay, I log in my one first. Sometimes there are too many credentials. Okay, so this is how you actually connect to your own Gmail account. It's as easy like this. You just choose your Gmail login. So once it is successful, then you can go in. Okay, from here you will see that all the files right now inside your folder. So I remember I found one called OCR exercise. I always use this one. This is how the spreadsheet looks like. Okay, so right now let me empty the spreadsheet. This one is for training purpose. Okay, from here, right, we can do the simple mapping. I take the supplier here, then I pull the debt over here. Okay, the bill amount and the description. Okay, so from here I execute. And you can see the data will flow through over here. Okay, this is a simple example in terms of the data entry. Okay. So when you are submit things, and next one about the whether how do I deploy it on my in my organization. Very easy and very fast. From here, right, and the setting is very friendly. If you want to make it into production, there is a production URL here. Okay. Then after that, you just publish it out. Okay. For example, right now, I have already published my workflow, right? Okay. If I share the URL in a new web browser, this is the user view. Okay. It's a user view. When the user start to outlook some view that they have, let's see whether they have more receipt or invoice. I should have a lot of invoice. Okay. When I start uploading my invoice, it is submitted over here. From my execution view, we can see, you see the things is start running already. Okay. When it finish running, I am expecting that the information will flow through to my Google Sheet. Okay. And actually, this one is the sort of the developer view. When you build the workflow, you are the admin, you can see how things run at the background. You see, the information is here already. This is my Anthropic subscription fee. Okay. Okay. Then for user, they will only see this screen. Okay. Maybe we spend like 3 minutes, okay, to have some play with the workflow. I will show you the URL, this one. I will show you this one. If you like to join, you can just click on the hyperlink, okay, outload some of the receipt. You don't outload 30-page agreement. Okay, outload some of the receipt and have a try. This is some simple example and showcase. Right? Let's say you have done some automation. Let's say you're running a retail business. One of the pain point is all your location in your different outlet level, right? They have some cash bill day to day, like some F&B retail. The purchase of vegetable, purchase for ice, right? Sometimes it's not a centralized building. Then they need to collect off the bill from all over the places and send it to the head office, and head office do the process, do the data entry. The lead time is very long and sometimes it's quite inaccurate. Then for here, if let's say right now you have craft out this workflow and you click on the hyperlink, then you start sending in the photo. Right now there are two people sending in already. Then it will actually capture inside the system. Remember that I stress again, this one for demo purpose, for the webinar purpose, we use Excel, we use Google Sheet. In your real situation, you want to use Excel, you want to connect to your software, is doable. Okay, we let
and I think, you know, the one thing good to highlight about this is even from this simple 5-node workflow, right? 5 different components that everybody here on this call will be able to understand, right? You can easily adapt it not just for receipts, but for invoices, for delivery notes, or POs, or any other process where your people are manually entering such data into the systems right now, right? So this is amongst the simplest of workflows that people will learn, but it's universally applicable across all teams. Yeah, so you can see there's a juice coffee. Okay, right now by right I must go and refine the bill amount shouldn't include USD, the dollar sign, all this kind of thing. But at least this one give you a feeling, okay, how the things works, and it can push the data through. And let's say in some event, let's say have error, it's easy for you to go inside and debug what is the error and fix accordingly. Okay, so see this I Kelantan, okay, 1,000, all this kind of thing. Okay, so right now it gives you a flavor, okay, how things can be really crafted
the concept crafted very fast and launch it out within your organization. Today, I'm sitting at JB. Maybe you are at KL, at Penang, maybe in Singapore. Then you can just tap this cloud link and send in your receipt and do the OCR. Okay, I will unpublish the workflow first, okay, while some of the tasks still running. And I will try to start the next one while letting the data still loading over here. Okay, the next one I would like to share with you is that this one is about data input. Okay, right now I give you a link. You send a document after OCR, you can push to your system. Okay, another one is about now it's about 10 o'clock. I think I will do the data extraction rather than the reconciliations. Okay. For data extraction, right now, this is the GL that I have. Yeah, accountant, we should know what is GL. I don't need to explain. General ledger. Okay, all the transaction of your business. Okay, this one is a mock data prepared by the AI. But it actually somehow simulate the GL transaction. Okay. Then I also have a copy of the, okay, I close this one. Yeah, I put it already in my Google link over here. Okay, right now I do a new workflow. First to take the data from the Google Sheet. Again, same thing. Right now I am pulling the data out from the Google Sheet. Today, if you want to pull your data out from the system, it's the same logic. It's the same logic. Okay. So this is the entire transactions entry. Okay. So if let's say right now what we want to do, right? Okay. What we want to do, we want to just craft a simple dashboard. We need to run some coding. Okay. So today, right, with the era of AI, it's like, hey, everyone can fly. Although now not everyone can fly. Now the fuel has spiked, very expensive. But now everyone still can code. The way that we code is not that you need to go through some Python school or go to learn some JavaScript to do the coding. What we need to do is to ask the AI code for us. Okay. So for example, this one, I use Gemini because Gemini is faster. Okay. Then in the class, this is how I share with the people. Not in the class. Actually, every time I meet different people, they want to use AI to come out some solution. Actually, the step is the universal. Right now, today, most of us, we ask AI to write email for us. Okay, please write me this email. This is the inbox I kena marah by my boss. Help me to say in a nice way to defend my position. Then come out the email, you copy paste and you send to your boss, right? Or you receive a complaint from the customer, you don't want to handle, hey, this is my complaint for the client, help me handle. Most of us already use AI to write email. The mechanism is the same. We ask AI to write us a code that we can copy paste in n8n and reuse the code. Let me show you what do I mean. The first thing we will tell that to the AI working on n8n, else the AI wouldn't know what are we working on. Okay, I'm working on n8n. Please write me. We need to know some this era, right? How to differentiate the good AI user and the not so good AI user, right? Is that you need to able to spell out the terminology. For this one, over here is writing code in JavaScript, right? You just copy paste over here. So AI will know that you need a code in JavaScript. You are working in n8n. Okay. Then you can say, please output me a interactive dashboard in HTML format. Okay. On the financial performance. Then this is basically this one is your wish list. It's your wish list. What do you want? And this one is a very difficult question. Today, this morning, I just helped one of my friend to start using Claude. Then she is stuck here. She don't know how to effectively articulate the things that she wants. So this is for some people that first time using AI to help do something, this is the common block that you are having. How to spell out the output that you want in a precise manner. Okay. Then also give some input reference, please. To the input data reference. Okay. Then from here, what you do over here is you copy and paste the sample set of data over here. And you can let it start running. Okay, I think it's pretty big, the file. The second, okay, got already. And it will start writing the script. Then what we need to do is to copy paste the script or the code written by the AI back to the n8n, and next time you can reuse that. So this one, to me, is a very valuable technique or skill set. And you don't need to like go through one semester or study one. You just need to have enough of practice to go through this motion. Right now, we are very expert in asking AI to write email, asking AI to help us write our LinkedIn posts, Instagram posts, all this kind of thing. Actually, the logic is the same. The logic is the same. And some people can craft it very well, and some people doesn't craft it well because you just give a very generic instruction, it gives you a generic output. So from there, over the times, if you are focused on the output generated by AI, from there you should be able to polish your skill. Okay, another thing to take note, every time you want to copy something, make sure the AI have finished coding, you only copy lah. So for here, AI finished already, then you can copy lor. And how to copy paste also very important, you know. Some people they copy paste like that, you know, from the bottom all the way out, everything. But here, okay, we copy this one. We only want the code. Okay, once you copy, then you come here, you execute. Then it will give you the HTML script over here. Okay, what you can do is, if you want to have a preview, okay, if you want to have a preview, you can pull over here and execute. Okay. But another way, if I do it in a cleaner way, right now I am starting a node, getting the spreadsheet and get the code out. Okay. If I tweak a little bit. Okay. Having a webhook is like a plug lah. Okay. You no need to know what is this at this moment. Okay, let me do some configuration. Okay, so for here, I paste it over. Okay, so this is a simple dashboard, okay, coded using Gemini just now. And this is my instruction to the Gemini. Basically, I still think this one is a very generic instruction. I'm working on this one. Actually, my instruction is, okay, output me an interactive dashboard for financial performance. That's it. So let's say today, right, your monthly reporting, your weekly reporting, you have a certain way of present. I want to have pie chart for this, bar chart for that. Okay, all the trend analysis with some comment you can input. So then the AI will act according to your instruction to give you out. Right now, we are doing some demo. For demo purpose, I keep things simple. Okay, I like things in a simpler way lah. So this is how you will get. And if you look at the logic of the workflow, right? Okay, what does it mean now? Okay, so over here, it actually means that once someone have triggered this URL, okay, you have used this URL, it will start running over here to get the data from the spreadsheet. Okay, you see another succeed already. You get the data from the Google Sheet. This is the raw data. And this raw data actually you will run through all this coding lah. It's 195 lines of code. Run through all the codes. Then it becomes a HTML language. HTML is the web browser language. Oh. Like just now, the deck they have done just now is also in HTML. So from here, it will render back to the user. You can see here. So in a way, right, you just imagine today, like I said, Google Sheet is only, today is for quick presentation. We use Google Sheet as a container. For your site, if you want to pull your data from your in-house software, your in-house ERP accounting software, right, you can configure accordingly. So every time you click this URL, it will pull the data from your system and run the coding to render this dashboard for you. Okay. So if let's say today we are in the same company, I hope my company can be so big, 200 people over. And right now I'm sharing you again in the good chat on the dashboard URL. Okay. And you are my bosses. Okay. Right now, you click on the URL, it will start pull the data from the Google Sheet and render, become a dashboard to you. In a way, they call it, this is a live dashboard. Live dashboard meaning to say that every time when you click the URL, it will get the latest data in the Google Sheet and render, become a dashboard for you. If you are open using mobile, it will be mobile responsive. So if you are open or using laptop, then it will be in the same presentation format like myself over here. Of course, all these things you can fine tune further. Okay, so Git all has a message problem loading form. This usually occur if the n8n workflow serving this form is deactivated or no longer exists. Okay, so right now, maybe just now when you click on the I think Git, you are clicking on the my URL, the first one. The first one is the receipts OCR. I closed it already. So the form no longer activate. You click on the latest one. I just type a dashboard URL at the bottom. The message 1 minute ago. You click on that one, it should be workable. Because from here I can see that you see many people just now click and have a view already. In n8n, right, if let's say I'm running on the test mode, they have this, there's a lab over here, icon, test execution. All this is the published link. So this one actually, you see, it's only 4 nodes configuration, and I actually did it like within 10 minutes, but it's a very useful use case. So from here, right, I have run a quite complete flow whereby one is the data entry, one is the data extraction. Actually, I can also use the same example like the receipt claim just now. Okay, right now you're submitting the receipt. Everything is summarized in the Google Sheet. And every day I want to click in, see what's the latest summarize of the claim, it can be done. But this one, I use a general ledger, then come out this kind of dashboard. Then from here, it's easier for you to relate. And this is why we think the n8n is very convenient, because from crafting an automation workflow to deploy and let people to use, it's very easy. It's not difficult. To a certain extent, you also can, okay, I can share with you what we are having right within AI training to you. Okay, give me a second. AI training to you. Internal. This one. From here, right, like I said, we use quite a lot of n8n automation, right? Actually, I do a hyperlink. Okay, I do a hyperlink, simple link over here. Then from here, this is all the workflow that I have created. Okay, for example, now I want to print out the HRDC attendance form. I just come in, then I can, this is the form, like you also see just now. From here, I can select which section, which day. Then I can print out the HRDC attendance form. So today, if let's say I want to retrieve some staff claim summary, I can click on the form, execute over here. Okay, I want to look at myself. Okay, April, how much do I claim? All this kind of thing. Then it will pull out the data to see what are the expenses that have claimed during the month, so on and so forth. So this is the way whereby you have your in-house how should I say, shopping center or what? All the things are over here. You just click, then all this form, all the format, all these are n8n. Okay, all these are n8n. So all these things you can customize to suit the needs of your organization, and it's really so simple to deploy in the environment. Can it be integrated with Workday? Let me see what is Workday. Usually when people ask about software integration, right, first thing I will come here and look. Okay, currently the Workday is not over here. But like I mentioned just now, if let's say in your Workday admin screen, right, you are able to pull out the API key. Okay, if you are able to pull out the API key, you can always use the HTTP request node over here to link it out. So your one will become like this, your workflow. I unpublish first. Your workflow will become like this. Okay, this one, combine this one, then get this one to pull the data or push the data in. Maybe I show you my workable example on the Buku accounting software. But my Buku subscription is over already. I just show you the workflow. Okay. And some past execution. Okay, they never save. Okay. So this one is actually posed to the Buku API. Okay. It doesn't have a native built-in nodes in n8n. Doesn't have Buku over here. But in Buku, okay, once I get the API key like this one, okay, this one is the API key. Then with some setting, also I'm not the one to do the setting. I ask AI I want to do this setting, how am I to do it? Then I follow the instruction and key in accordingly, paste accordingly. Then it will push the data to Buku. Okay, so Jackson, hopefully I answer your question on the indication of Workday. So for Workday currently, it's not over here. Let me try another one. n8n Workday community notes.
No, I tried looking for it. I couldn't find Workday, but you can, that's a good example. Yeah, I mean, a good example, maybe for some of the people in the audience, right? Within n8n itself, there's no official node for luck, as an example, right? And I think, many of the organizations in Malaysia are already moving towards Slack from Microsoft Teams or Google. But what can be done is that there's a luck community node that's been created, and then upon installation, you can actually find luck, right? So, okay, Wei-Jian has not installed the luck community node, but it can be installed, and then you can have the same operators also, right, to be integrated. Similarly, Workday, if there are no community nodes or no official nodes yet, you can just use the typical webhook and API. So that's the flexibility of something like n8n. You might be asking the question, what's the difference between n8n and Power Automate or Make and Zapier? Power Automate is very powerful within the Microsoft ecosystem. Luck is very powerful within the Luck ecosystem for automation and so on and so forth. But n8n allows you to combine between your Microsoft and your Google stuff and your SAP and your accounting system like Buku and so on and so forth. Right? You can think about it as kind of like a gel between systems, right? So that you can combine and orchestrate things together.
Okay. Then I think I will take another 3 minutes to clear off the Q&A in the panel. There are 5 over there. Will the session be recorded? No, we are recording, but for our internal purpose. It's not for circulation purpose. Okay. Then Sung Yao is asking, may I know workflow system can replace accounting software if workflow system heavily? Okay. My personal sharing right now, I'm at a new startup. I haven't subscribed accounting software yet. I use my own system. For example, I can show you over here also. Okay, this one is our agent. Then it helps us to record all the invoice, all this kind of thing. Okay, but I think that there are still value in the accounting software. Okay, it's just that how do you integrate with it? Because right now, you are not expected to be the full stack developer, right, for the application. I think one of the common pitfalls when you go into AI adoption, you think that, oh, now I don't need this software already, I don't need to pay. But to me, right, let's say the price is reasonable, you wouldn't want to spend your time to build another accounting software or whatnot, because this is not how you can best use of your time. The best use of your time is actually, now you are using accounting software already, you find some way to integration to the accounting software, then make your life easier, then your organization can move faster so that you can do the business decision in a easier manner and a more timely basis lah. Okay. Then there's a question. There are ChatGPT, Gemini, DeepSeek, Claude available, but which is the most recommended? Right now, for my personal opinion, right, if you are working on finance related works, Claude is the one of the best in the class, Claude, because they have purposely to train their model to deep dive into accounting and finance. Okay, how to ensure accuracy and completeness of the result, Sung Yao? If you're asking that 10, 11, just now is on the extraction of the data. Right? That's why when you're building the workflow, you ask AI to write you the code, right? Like people like myself, we don't know what the code is writing about. So how do we validate all this is to screen through the output. Okay, make sure the output is the same as what you have done on a manual basis. For example, I do a lot of reconciliation project for my client. Every time I will tell them that this is give me a 1 month data, you have done it manually. Then I will do accordingly. Then you use the output and run 3 times to double check with your past 3 months result when you do it manual. So from there, you can validate the result, whether it's accurate or inaccurate. Adlin V, if I upload TB, you need to slice and do cost categorization. Can n8n workflow handle? Okay, so for n8n workflow, right, just now, this one is information extracted today because of the limited time that we have lah. Okay, over here, you also have the classifier chain, text classifier. Okay, so this one actually can do classification lah. But of course, in your prompt, right, you need to say like, for example, electricity is my utility expenses. Some people, electricity is cost of sales, right? You need to put a lot of your definition. Okay, how do you classify this thing inside this one? Okay, this is one thing. Another thing, you can use code lah. So depends on your use case, see which one is more suitable for you. So in short, for Adlin question is that the categorization or classification, usually I will use this one to handle. Okay, there's a question. If I have already built a data extractor for invoice, etc. via Google Ads Studio Firebase for sale. Wow, you built a white coding already. Is there any way to convert this to without redoing it in n8n? If you have already built an application, right, then if let's say it's nice to use, you just use it lah. Because I think the back-end engineering, I also do some product, okay? So the back-end, all the scripting is can be entirely different one. If you either, if you want to choose n8n, you stick to n8n, you compile everything into a simple UI like what I showed just now, this kind of thing, rather than converting your current application architecture into n8n based, because to me it's as good as if you are building a new software already. Okay, hope I answered the question.
Yeah, I think Wei Jian, for the benefit of a lot of people who are from the finance department, right? Maybe we can just showcase that some of the possibilities of things like super n8n. No, sorry, super CFO. Not the product itself, but the possibilities of what AI can do, right? So that you can replicate within n8n, you can replicate within Cloud, right? But all these things are doable using AI nowadays.
Okay, so for example, this one is the product that I'm building with Marcus and Voron. Then this is Super CFO. I also can share the link over here. If you're interested, you can register a free account and play. Over here, the backend is also run by Anthropic. Okay, for here, like it's easier for people to use. For example, if you want to do some casting check, compare quotation, expenses claim, data transformation, you can click, then go. You want to do some modeling, okay, discounted cash flow valuation, scenario analysis, actual versus budget, you can do it here. Then you want to do any sorts of different kind of dashboard, okay, financial health check, all this kind of thing. So you can select here lah. So here, the things is we just package thing nicely lah to ease the user. For example, now you want to compare the quotation. You outlook some of the quotation over here. Let me look for my example, Type webinar.
But essentially, I think the point we're showcasing over here is you can replicate the same using n8n also, right, or Claude. But with the careful prompt engineering and structuring things together so that it can manipulate the data, right? But in this particular case, it's to show, right, whether it's quotation comparison or whether it's to create an investment DCF model and so on and so forth. All these things can be done using AI nowadays.
Yeah, so this one you need to wait time to run. Okay, I show you some example Like just now I was trying to compare two quotation. Okay. It's like to simulate some of the renovation of the office use case lah. Okay, this one also AI generated one. But nowadays AI generated template is also quite relevant one. Okay, you need to do all these kind of things, right? Then if let's say today you want to get two quotation to compare and make a decision. And this is another quotation. Okay. Sometimes the vendor, right, doesn't give you the called BQ to the tender document exactly like a format. So the pain point is you would need to people like spending time to put it able to apple to apple to do the comparison. No? This one is the data that I've loaded just now lah. But for this particular sample over here is another econ quotation. Then the output, this one is already done before lah. I just share with you. This one is three econ quotation. Then they do the comparison, and this is the output lah. You will say that which supplier, okay, which one is recommended. This is in Excel format. Okay. Then price comparison, scoring metrics, okay, project cost, all this kind of thing, weightage, who is the winner, terms comparison, okay, detailed analysis. Okay, this detailed analysis, okay, zoom out, okay, and the raw data over here. Okay, so this is doable in a way that in the old time, right, you need people to go through and prepare you this. It will take days, hours, I would say hours or not days, okay. Screen through all these things to come out this extent and these details of the comparison. Okay, now today AI can do it. Okay, close the window anyway. Okay, so this one's still running. I think we let it run at the background first. I think I will jump to Claude. Okay, since we try to finish at 10:30, I think we'll have a slight delay lah. Apologize for that. Okay, I will share with you some of the Claude feature. In Claude, right, if you pay attention to the top left corner over here, okay, we have a chat model. Okay, Claude chat. We have a Claude used for coding. We have a Claude Cowork. Cowork is only available for people that pay the subscription. Free user, you wouldn't have access to Cowork. The beauty of Cowork is that right now you can use Claude and the agent can have the skill. If under customize button over here, right? Okay, you have anyway. I have an invitation code here. This one, right? Said that the people, if let's say you are free user, you can use 1 week free for Cowork. Okay, so I paste my invitation link over here, but only have 2 lah. I only can have 2 people. So if let's say you are listening to the webinar right now and you are paid to the Claude subscription, right, and you are sitting in front of the desktop, you can share your invite link over here lah. So other free Claude user in the same chat room, they can play with it for a week. Okay, then from here under customize, right? Okay, here they are connector, they are skill. Connector is that you can connect to a different platform. For here, I have connected with my GitHub, with my Gmail, with my Google Calendar and n8n. And skill, right, is actually the skill you can set to the agent. For example, this is the skill I've just created just now. Okay, it's on a financial forecast. So for here, right, this one is also a simple layman language. Okay, on what is the things that you want to do in your financial forecast. Okay, and I also have a reconciliation skill. You know what? My analogy to reconciliation skill is a guessing game. How do you guess? This one, let one day come in. This one, exact amount should be tally. So basically, it's all the logic on how you do a recon. Then you pass it to the agent. It will follow your instruction in your skill documentation to execute the task. Put it in a simpler way. This one is basically a junior. You tell him what to do. This one is your SOP. Then it will follow the SOP to execute the task for you. So because of the time constraint, I don't want to refresh one example. I just show you one example that I have built in the morning session, in the afternoon session. So when I start on a new task, right? When I start on a new task, usually you need to choose a directory to work on. Basically, it's your file path in the folder. Okay. You can use existing folder. Then from here you can select you want to select what folder. So just now I select a blank folder in the blank file. I say from here, okay. I see whether I can zoom in, but quite difficult. Okay, bear with me. Okay, from here you will set out few things. Okay, you will set out some Claude.md. Claude.md is actually the main instruction that you give to the agent for this project. For example, okay, the agent persona, okay, they are professional data scientists and business analysts doing the financial performance, blah, blah, blah. Okay, this one is the main character of the agent that you define. Okay, the instruction in this project, what it's going to do. Then from here, just now, I also customize a skill over here as a financial forecast. Okay, what this skill does? Meaning to say that when the agent do some task, it will trigger them to, when you ask him, help me to do financial forecast for the next 3 years, it will trigger them to use this skill to apply to their work. From there, we no need to, every time we want to do something, we need to prompt from A to Z. Okay, from JB to Penang, prompt all the way, no need. We just set the skill one time. Next time, it will trigger the skill. It will use the detailed step in the skill to execute the task. All right. Then from here, let me go back to this one. Okay. So you see, I said that, okay, help me do a forecast for this. This is my only instruction. Okay. Help me do a dashboard and forecast. I didn't write a long prompt for the things that I want. So for here, the output is here. Okay, both are already. The ABC Trading General Ledger, like this one, is actually the same thing with this one. Okay, it's the same source of data, 1000 overline of GL. Okay, then from here, I already put the file inside the folder. I asked it that based on this one to do a dashboard. And this one is the output of the dashboard that it has done. Okay. There is a financial analyst over here because during my prompt, just in my skill, right, I asked him to also do analysis. Okay. I asked him also do analysis in the skill. So it will give you a dashboard. Okay. With the analysis over here. So again, same thing. If let's say when you are a business analyst or if you are a BU head, right, every time you have your own way to interpret the figure. Like I myself, I was an audit partner. I have my own way to interpret this and the figure. So I can actually tell the agent how to embed into the skill to interpret different figure. Okay. I think if the people over here, you are at a senior level, you know what I'm talking about lah. Like all the auditor, we look at figure differently. Same thing for the business analyst, we look at different figure. The gist is we want the AI interpret as if we are doing the work. So we can replicate ourselves to do the analysis at bulk level. All right. Then I also ask for some forecast, and forecast is in the Excel format. Okay. So this is the Excel forecast and all the things. And the good thing is, right, if you look at all this, right, okay, it's all linked to the formula. It's formula linked. Okay. It's not sort of hard coded. Meaning to say that if you change your assumption over here, right, okay, the figure behind will change accordingly. Okay. Because it's not sort of hard coded. Okay. So this one is a output in the Excel instead of a forecast assumption for the next 3 years. This is how you can do using Claude Code itself. That's why back to my just now when I opening, right, I said if right now you are start to embracing, if you are not using Claude, or if you using Claude, you are not using Cowork yet. Cowork, you are unable to access using a web browser. If you're using the web browser one, you won't have the button just now. Okay, you need to download Claude Desktop. You need to download Claude Desktop.
But please, the caveat is, you might need to get IT's approval to download anything to be stored locally, right? Due to the fact that, this one has access to the local files. So for many of you who work in the corporates or accounting firms, right, or finance departments of listed companies, all of these things will need to go through approval first before you can get these things installed, right? although the reality is a lot of people are using Claude right now. In fact, we did a survey amongst all the entire community of startup founders that we're all part of, and the number of people who are using Claude now is almost double that the number of people using OpenAI and ChatGPT for day-to-day personal productivity use cases.
This one is an instant boost if your IT give clearance and you are allowed to use. Okay, I answer some of the question. Okay, Kathy's Hall. Before we can do this, we need to install n8n platform in our laptop. n8n no need to install. n8n is a cloud platform. n8n is a cloud platform, and there are free trial account. 14 days, you can try and play. I also share the n8n link over here. Okay, but n8n, after the free trial, you can choose to install in your laptop. Okay, you can choose to install in your laptop and run locally. Then you no need to pay, but it undergo some of the setting. Okay, Nicole, there's a question. Hi, trainer. Can I check with you which is the best tool to generate PPT, include icon diagram? You can use Claude to generate. Claude can generate PPT. Okay, let me see whether I have some of the output. Oh, just now this one is the renovation. Done already, finished running already. Let me download and look at it. Okay, the two quotation right on the renovation we see that. So you see this is the output lah. Okay, recommended supplier this one. Then they do the comparison and the scoring, price comparison, criteria, term sheet comparison, detailed analysis. So it's quite identical to the econ supplier just now. But if you pay attention, the details of some presentation might vary. So this is the characteristic of using AI. Okay, but the important information is still there lah. Okay, then let me find you some of the slide. Okay. Okay, for example, this one slide was published. Okay, back end we are also using Anthropic model for our product. Claude can do PowerPoint, but at this point of time, I need to stress this. This point of time, PowerPoint kills a lot of token. Kills a lot of token in the sense that if you are using API, last time I try 30. This one is created by Super CFO, backed by Anthropic. Last time we create this. This one is more. Maybe this one 13 deck, right? I remember last time this round, the cost is about 20 over USD. 20 over USD. That is not really worth it lah. But if you are paying the subscription, $100 subscription, maybe you create this PPT will kill you maybe 20-30% of your 5 hours quota lah. So right now,
so at the moment, I think at the moment, Claude can do slides, but it's not the most efficient. There are many other AI software out there that can be used to create slides right now.
Right now, what I do, I use Gemini Notebook-LM. I think it's good enough already. And Notebook-LM right now, you can prompt ask it to amend also. This is my personal pick at this moment in terms of the PPT slide creation. Okay, then let me look at some of the question. Marcus Chia. Marcus Chia is not the participant. Marcus Chia is one of the trainer. White Code API cannot connect to an API. Okay, he's answering the question just now. Jackson, so far, how's the accuracy like using Claude to analyze your data? My experience for Claude, right? Not only I commend it for a broader spectrum, not only for analyzing data. I would say if accuracy is not 100%, accuracy is not 100%. It can be ranging between 85 to 90 in terms of accuracy. But the quality of the analysis, right? Okay, I'll show you another quick example. Anyone is working on the audit, right? Over here can give, press audit over here. No? Okay, I think in the favor time I don't share because I need to open another application. I use agent to work on audit file and text file. Okay, they can populate everything, even including the audit query and text query. Frankly speaking, I look at the audit query. I am an audit partner myself. The query quality is better than the second years of full-time staff. Means it's at A2 or S1 level. And in terms of the analytic, right? I think early this week, I go to Singapore, visit one of my friends. He is an economist in OCBC. They are using a lot of AI, but they are not particularly using Claude. They didn't disclose. They use their in-house AI model. They actually said that analysis done by the AI, because the AI, like we understand just now, now I'm creating the audit query. I'm auditor. I know what things to ask, what things to look out for. The quality output is usually approximate to a 2 to 3 year stuff in your company. And most importantly, just now I mentioned the accuracy is 85% to 90%, right? Most of the time right now, our staff cannot give us this kind of accuracy rate. And not to mention the turnaround time. I use Claude to do audit, to scaffold the audit working paper, full suite audit with queries, right? Within 1 hour can come out. If do it manually, it's never possible. So this is my comment on some of my observation right now. Then, of course, this is the main of the showcase for today. The last thing I want to share with all of you is some of the programs we think it can really helpful for yourself or your organization to embark into the adoption journey. Like I mentioned in the deck just now, Agent is the easiest way to use. You just give the AI the prompt, the things that you're asking for. So from there, you can start to get the output. And in May, I think 23rd or 24th of May, in Work Subang, we are going to have our very first class in terms of the Claude Agent orchestration, how to use Claude Cowork, how to set the agent, how to set the skill, and how to set the Claude identity. And actually, hopefully, we can touch on the agent team. In fact, you can have a team of agent. But to me, right, agent team sounds very good, sounds very change. But when you run into practice, there are different hassle that you will encounter. I use a lot of agent and sometimes agent team. And Marcus over here, he use a lot of agent teams. So he have a lot of different experience and to share. It's not always nice to deal with agent team from my perspective. But end of the day, we need to know how to configure an agent first before you go to a team. So this is the course that we newly launched for 23rd to 24th May. And the prerequisite is you have a Claude subscription. Okay, this is the prerequisite. You need to have a minimum $20 USD subscription for Claude. Because right now, the Cowork doesn't available on the free user. Okay. Yeah, so Raj, I answered your question. You need to subscribe the $20. So you just treat it as a part and parcel of the training fee. Okay, n8n as usual is one of the hottest demand course that we have. The next session will be 14 to 15 May. We will be using, and in fact, every time our session, we will improvise the syllabus. Going further and further is getting more and more practical because we have a lot, as we conducted numbers of training, and we have the project with some larger corporate. We know that what are the exact pain points that need to address, and it addresses effectively. Okay. Then this one is the white coding. If you are interested to bring your workflow, connect it together, become something like this, or something like the panel that I shown just now, like this. There are some white coding technique, and actually Marcus is leading the white coding classes. Marcus is over here. Okay, in the orange color. Marcus is the expert in UI UX. He's from the IT field. Okay, so he's the best person to teach the white coding. So if let's say you are interested, feel free to sign out. Okay, I will share our website over here.
Yeah, I mean, these are the public classes. If some of you are from larger organizations, you want to have a dedicated session for 25 to 35 packs, let us know. We conduct private sessions as well for the different entities and organizations. So what's the difference between public and private? If let's say, for example, you're running an SME, right, 40, 50 people, or you have 5 people or 10 people, then you don't need to train everybody. But what will be useful will be having people who are the process owners to go for it and the bosses to go for it. Because we always encourage the bosses to go for it due to the fact that once you know what's possible, then you can resource accordingly and you know your organization and processes inside out to be able to change it, right? But let's say you have a 200 packs organization, 400 packs organization, right? And you want to have holistic AI transformation across the organization quite quickly. Then the idea is having 20, 30 people internally will be enough to have different functional heads and functional leaders to know enough to start automating. Our commitment with all our programs in general is within 2 weeks, assuming IT gives you the clearance, right? Whatever that you learn, you should be able to implement within your organization already, right? even if 90% of the participants are non-technical people. That has always been our assurance. These are all the companies that we train, right? 70 people from Right Bank, Mr. DIY 70 people, Money Match about 40 people, Zeus about 70 people, and so on and so forth. The whole idea is about creating a critical mass of people who can help to drive the process changes internally in the organization. Starting off with low-code, no-code platforms like n8n, but you can link it to Microsoft or Google or Lark. And then subsequently, the other one about individual productivity is Claude, right? So both are complementary in terms of the finance processes.
Yeah, Justin have a question. How can I move a Claude agent out from Claude desktop app to a unified dashboard showing all my Claude agent and n8n workflow? Justin, this one you need to attend white coding session already. You can build a platform, okay? Then all the things you are shown there. I can show you my example is quite similar. For example, this one I built it myself, right? Then from here I can see all the skill that I have created for this agent. So if let's say you have multi-agent, it's a matter of how you add the agent inside the room. If let's say for my particular UI. So I think that one, Justin, maybe white coding suit you. Okay, so let me address more message in the chat box. Okay, Pageant, Darren Tan. Okay, as a beginner, which one to attend first? Okay, beginner, right? I will strongly recommend automation workflow. Okay, despite just now when I share, right, agents is easier to use, but if you don't have the concept of how orchestration or how process step by step is being done, it's very difficult for you to prompt. It's very difficult for you to instruct the agent to what to do this, what to do that. And you find that sometimes the output is not what you want. Sometimes it's difficult for you to improve it. But after attending the workflow automation, at least you are able to appreciate that how the things, right, actually flowing to where's my. Give me a second. I closed it just now. You can appreciate how the process connecting node by node, how it flows. Then you have the concept in your mind. It's easier for you to interact with AI agent to either set out the skill or to get the output that you want. So from here, you know that this one is a submit a document. This one is to analyze something. This one is to extract something. And finally, post data to somewhere. So I will strongly recommend that beginner or you first in touch in this, you go to workflow first. Once you have the concept on how the workflow is running, then you can go to agent class or go to the white coding class. White coding is like, if you are like Justin just now, I think the name is Justin, right? You already create something, you want to build everything, tap out together, then white coding class is the one that you can go. Okay. HRDC groundwork for just now, Jackson. You also trainer, is it? Can you connect it to the HRDC government.my? Okay, for the one, you need to use the web browser control click. Doable. Okay, but you need to give your ID password credential embedded in the workflow. I'm doing it now myself. Every time, get the claim. Then go in, click the claim. Okay, click this, click that, attach this one. Doable. Okay, Jackson. After attending first session and still don't understand, can repeat in your future class. So basically, right now, our class come with the 3 months WhatsApp support. And what happened is I encountered like last month, we just concluded one and there's a freelancer doing accounting also. And on and off, I will help her to answer the question. She actually DM me, maybe she's more shy to ask in the group chat. So I can, like Ultra Viewer, go to her laptop to help her to do a simple debugging. That one is okay. We have a 3 month support after the session. But I think for yourself, most importantly, is after the class, you get the momentum on. Because what we have seen that most of the time for people who didn't carry out is that maybe this is just another training session for him or her for this year. Then he doesn't continue using. From there, she lost the momentum or he. Then it's very difficult for you to catch back. So important thing is in our 2 days training, always end it with one group project. And we strongly encourage you use your real use case in the project so they can start to use the workflow already. From there, you can keep your momentum on. And in the group chat, sometimes you can discuss with other peers. They're also facing some of the same problem. Okay?
Yeah. So I think, in general, right, most of the training, I think, if you have to open up the course, right, so you work through 8 to 10 examples. Everybody will be hands-on to actually build 8 to 10 workflows. And not only that, right, because your peers will also be sharing workflows. So you end up with 20, 30 workflows, maybe, okay, 20 workflows, right, during the 2 day session. So by the end of 2 days, number one, you know how to connect things together. Number two, you understand the logic of the different process engineering, but where to put the AI inside, whether it's to do financial reconciliation or expenses or building a chatbot or simple analysis or even web scrapers. And then you can combine them together. So the idea is to show as much variety over a 2-day period, and you have the Lego bricks and the Lego blocks to continue to learn amongst your peers. But like what we just said, at the end of the day, after 2 days, it's all about practice, right? The more you practice, the more is. I think the reason why we showcase the logic over here is you can see actually it's not that complicated, right? 5-6 steps, 4 to 5 steps, 2 to 3 steps, right? And essentially, as long as you know how to connect things together and you know how to calibrate, that's the power of something like this kind of low-code, no-code AI agents, because it devolves the possibility of you to build your own OCR workflow without having to rely on the tech team. Right? As long as you operate within the tech team's sandbox and the governance structure, that's the key part.
Okay. Anyone have any more questions? You can just type it in the chat box, and we are happy to answer. So coming out in May, actually, we will try to do this every month. One session white coding, one session automation, one session of the AI agent. Okay. Right now we are focusing on Claude because Claude is one of the best model. So like I said right now, if let's say at your own pace you want to try out, try to subscribe Claude and play with it. Then suddenly, if you think that it's possible, then you want to do further, feel free to attend our public workshop, and from there you can get to know some friends from different industry as well. All right.
Yeah, I've just reshared the link, and then there's also the course from a Google form. If you're interested to join our next public class, you can just check it out. Or if you're interested in having a corporate training for your larger entities between 25 to 35 packs, feel free to get in touch with us, and then we can arrange accordingly.
All right. And I think this concludes our webinar for today. And actually, we do have a weekly webinar on Thursday. Just that it's not always as speaking. Sometimes it's Marcus, sometimes it's other speaker. If you're interested, all the free webinar schedule is on our website also. You can go and mark in your calendar. You see which content you are more interested in. And we hope that you enjoy our sharing along the way. So have a good night for the Thursday. Thank you.
Thank you,
everyone.
Play music and then we go. Bye.